We are doing the sum of Cbse 2022, year 2022, set 4. Question number 12, that is based on cash flow.
Okay.
And here they want us to prepare what? Cash flow from operating activities.
Yes.
When we have to prepare cash flow from operating activities, what do I do?
You write your four things.
Hmm.
That is net profit before tax, operating profit before working capital changes, cash generated from operations, less tax paid, and then cash flow used in operating activities.
For this first part, you will always prepare what?
A working note.
Okay, what does it start with?
Net profit before tax contains first is balance of reserves and surplus.
Okay, then
Then transfer of reserves, the
hmm,
closing balance minus opening balance.
hmm,
Then is proposed dividend of last year,
hmm,
uh, interim dividend of current year,
hmm.
and provision for doubtful debts of current year.
Tax.
Provision for tax, sorry.
Tax. And for that, you will prepare what?
For that you prepare provision for tax account.
Okay, fine, no problem. So we start. Anything related to share capital, where will it go?
Uh, Financing.
Reserves and surplus,
Working note 1.
working note 1. I think I've just cropped half question. Long term borrowings,
Financing activities.
any interest on it?
Again, financing, or it can be added to the non-cash non
Or
and
no, and
and and and added to the non-cash non-operating.
non operating expenses. Trade payables, other current liability,
Working capital changes.
WCC. Non current assets,
Financing.
non current assets,
Financing, right?
investing activity.
Sorry.
Okay, and in that the intangible which is normally the goodwill which they give you, goodwill or patents, that would
Yeah.
come in non-cash non-operating expenses if it is goodwill and patent. You
Okay.
have to go and check.
Okay.
Okay, current assets,
Working capital changes.
working capital changes. The cash and cash equivalence is an exception. Where will it go?
End.
It will go in the end. Okay, now with this we will start using our thing. I
Okay.
only want to make which activity?
Operating.
Operating activity. Fine, no problem. So I will first go reserves and surplus. I will go to where?
The notes to accounts.
Notes to accounts. Notes to account shows me reserves and surplus what?
Increase.
Closing minus opening. So I
Yeah.
will write the statement of profit and loss. I will write closing minus opening 150,000 minus 100,000. So it's going to give me 50,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So this
Yes.
is done. Fine.
Yes.
Long term borrowing, which activity?
Financing.
Okay. I'm seeing there is notes to account over there.
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to make financing activity. Suppose I had to make financing, I would write over there.
Yes.
Other than that, this percentage is given. What does this mean?
Interest on debentures is going to be added to non-cash non-operating.
So it's a non operating expense also.
Yeah.
Whenever there is interest, you will always go and check what?
Additional information?
Date.
Oh, date.
Date will help you decide whether you have to calculate interest year or year.
Okay.
If no date is given,
Current year.
you will calculate interest on the opening.
Oh, previous year. Okay.
Okay. Here they have told you 50,000 debentures were issued on 31st March 2022.
Yes.
The increase is also 50,000.
Yes.
When was it issued?
31st March 2022.
Last date.
Hmm.
So interest on debentures will be calculated on
2022, right?
yeah, so it was issued on this last date.
Yeah.
So interest on debentures you will calculate on
75,000.
25,000.
How?
You took loan only on the last date, so will you give interest for the full year?
Acha, okay.
No, na?
Yes. No.
So interest on debentures will be calculated on 25,000 into 12%. How much?
Um.
3,000.
Yes.
Two places that it will go. Two places that it will go.
Non-operating expenses
And financing activity.
and financing.
Okay?
Yes.
Non-current liability by nature only it is a financing activity. Any interest on it is also financing activity.
Okay.
But it will is also a non-operating expense. What do you do for non-operating expense?
Add.
Okay, so you will add the non-cash, non-operating expense, and your first one is what?
Interest on debentures.
Better show working over here only. 25,000 into how much percent?
12.
12%. So how much?
3,000.
I write the 3,000. Then
Yes.
A part is done, B part is done, borrowing is done, work, and I've also checked the notes to account and additional information.
Yes.
Come on. Now, current liabilities. What does this show?
Working capital changes.
Working capital changes. So the treatment has to be done here. Come
Yes.
on. First one. Current liabilities, which direction?
Same.
Same direction. So this has
Decreased. So
this
this
is
is
decreased.
deducted.
Minus 25,000 and over here
Minus 25.
minus 25,000. So there is a decrease in the trade payables and
And
there
current.
is a decrease in other current liability. Yes,
Yes.
since they've not given me bifurcation, I can go and check down what is the other current liabilities.
Huh.
Outstanding rent
Yes.
decrease, okay?
Yes.
So I'll go and write in my working capital changes. Decrease in trade payables. Decrease in outstanding rent and both is 25,000. Done?
Yes.
Section over. Non-current asset, which activity?
Investing.
Investing activity. Whenever I have anything related to non-current asset, I will always check how many things.
Uh, you check if your intangible assets are goodwill or goodwill.
Non-current assets, always four things. Always four things. What are those four things?
Assets purchased or sold,
Hmm.
depreciation, profit or loss for sold assets.
Okay, fine. So first I'm taking the tangible assets.
Yeah.
And if I see the tangible assets, so I have two tangible assets, land and building and furniture.
Hmm.
There is no provision for depreciation given.
Yes.
That indicates what? This is at net book value.
Okay.
Okay. Apart from this, have they given us any information about asset purchased or sold?
No, but they've given for depreciation.
They've given for depreciation. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I will prepare the land and building account separately. I will prepare the furniture account separately.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do land and building account, furniture. I am still clueless about what is it. I don't have investing activities for now. I don't have to incorporate purchase and sold. However, I need these two things.
Okay.
Land and building. What is the opening value?
2 lakh.
What is the closing value?
4 lakh.
No information about purchase or sold is given.
Yes.
Furniture, what is opening value?
74,000.
Closing value.
50,000.
And what is this?
Depreciation charge. 9.
24,000. If it is a net book value, 24,000 depreciation comes on the credit side.
Okay.
Furniture is sorted.
Yes.
Where will you write the depreciation on furniture?
You add it in non-cash, non-operating.
Write it. Go. Do you know about land and building? Does land and building anytime depreciate or it appreciates?
I'm not sure.
Land always appreciates. So unless and until information is not given, you don't appreciate it.
Okay.
Number one. I have no information about purchase and sold, but at the same time, I don't have to prepare anything for investing activity.
Okay.
If no information was given, I could say that 2 lakh is investing activity if I had to prepare.
Okay.
But right now, I don't have to prepare investing activity, right?
Yes.
And land and building in general does not depreciate.
Okay.
If it had to depreciate, I would get some balancing figure here, how I got for furniture. So since no information is given, I also remain silent.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
There is no profit or loss, there is no depreciation. In general, land and building does not depreciate. If it has to depreciate, they would give us information.
Okay.
Or maybe they would just give this and they would leave some scope for depreciation over here.
Okay.
But they've not done so, and investing I don't have to prepare, so I will not put any purchases as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have completed the tangible section, I've completed the tangible section.
Hmm.
How about intangible?
Um, there's an increase. No, there's a decrease. Sorry.
So this would be patents written off,
Yes.
which expense?
Non-cash, non-operating.
So you will go and you will write patents written off, how much?
2,000.
Done?
Yes.
Now current asset, you have inventories and trade receivables. Current assets, which direction?
Opposite.
So what is happening?
Inventories is decreasing.
So you will,
Add.
and trade receivable is,
Increasing.
so you will minus.
Yeah.
So you write decrease in inventory and increase in trade receivables. How much?
Decrease in inventory is 24,000.
Hmm.
And increase in trade receivable is 10,000.
Okay. Current asset is done.
Yes.
Additional information is done. Notes to account is done. Everything is done.
Yes.
Nothing more is there in working note number 1. I will take this information and I will feed in over here. 50,000. Now what I am looking at is only the closing. Okay.
Okay.
For this I don't need the question. So I do 50 plus 24 plus 2 plus 3. This gives me
79.
79,000. Minus 25 minus 25 plus 24 minus 10.
63.
43.
17. Yeah, 43.
No tax paid is given. Cash flow from operating activities 43.
Okay.
I read one information and I put it. First, I do my basic marking so that I don't get confused.
This actually makes much more sense. It makes the whole process easier.
Yeah. So, share capital financing, this working note number 1. Non current liabilities on the right hand side, I would put financing. Any interest on it is also financing. And over here, it is non operating expense.
Yes.
Below that, WCC for current assets and current liability.
Yes.
Okay. For non current assets, it is always investing activity. And intangible one is NCNOE.
Yes.
It will always be goodwill written off and patent written off.
Okay.
And for things related to assets
Assets purchased or sold or depreciation
and profit or loss.
or loss.
You should go and hunt for it even if it's not given directly, you search for it.
Okay.
And this working note number 1, you already know the fixed format. As and when the things come, you put in it, and only at the end you will pick this information and you will start your closing with it.
Okay.
Okay, so with
Yes.
this we complete 2022 set 4, question 12.